Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming out to tonight's opening performance. My name is Jeffrey Arndt. I'm the Director of Theater and Fine Arts Department Chairperson here at St. Patrick High School. At St. Patrick High School, we recognize that we attend school and create our art on the ancestral lands of the Kickapoo, the Sioux, the Miami, the Peoria, and the Potawatomi. We thank them so much for caring for the land since time immemorial. I want to give a special shout out to all the members of the audience tonight who attended our preview performance last week. We promise you a number of new twists and turns, and we're very, very happy to see you come back again. I'm starting to see even more numbers flow in, which is very exciting. We're also going to have a show tonight at 8:30, so please tell everybody that you know to come and see that show also. Make sure to tell all your friends if you loved it and your enemies if you hate it. I'd also want to make a quick announcement. One of our cast members fell ill today, and so he will not be able to join our performance. So we're going to have one detective who is interviewing our suspects. The students over the course of the end of last semester and the beginning of this semester really devised this murder mystery together. And so we're very, very proud to present this to you all. Now, our detective tonight is going to need your help, and he's going to explain that you can use the chat function that's available to you to speak to the panelists and ask some questions along with our detective to try to help us solve this mystery. The other thing you're going to be asked to do is occasionally you're going to see a poll that will come up. And we're going to ask that you are as honest as possible about how you feel the trustworthy level of the person that's being interviewed. And then at the end of the performance, you're going to get a chance to tell us who you think the murderer is. Without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So I would like to welcome to the virtual stage Detective Bosch. And we're going to go ahead and get this murder on the road. So welcome, Detective Bosch.
Thank you, Mr. Arndt. Good evening, fellow detectives. We welcome you to a virtual murder mystery. Tonight, we will need your help to solve our most recent case. My name is Detective Bosch, and I will lay out the facts about this case. The murder at Huntington Manor. 6 suspects await questioning, and we know that at least one of them is guilty. We will interview each of our 6 suspects to find out why they might have done it and how. You can help with that by typing into the chat questions that you would like us to ask each suspect. You will get the chance to tell us in a poll how trustworthy you find each of our suspects, and after the interviews have completed, we will review the facts and evidence we found. Then you will get to vote for who you think the murderer may have been. Without any further ado, we will begin. Today marks exactly 1 week after Mr. Huntington was found stabbed to death in his lavish kitchen. Mr. Huntington was the owner of Huntington's Casinos and Resorts, with his 2 sons helping run the business as Mr. Huntington got older. Mr. Huntington could often be found playing golf and going to auctions, with a good eye for antiques. He was also involved in his local politics, helping support candidates through his many years of civil service. We will now introduce each suspect, ask them a few questions, and please type in the chat any questions you may want to add. With that being said, let's please bring forth our first suspect, Mr. Robert Huntington.
Hello there, Robert Huntington, son of the deceased and co-owner to the business.
I see. Now, Robert, can you please go over exactly how is your relationship with your father?
With my father, we're very close. I, both personally and professionally, I was always by his side and worked together a lot.
I see. And now we know that you helped out your father with some of the business on the side. Did you ever co-own any of the properties on paper, or was it just a sort of under the table deal?
Yeah, so I did not co-own anything until his death. Me and my brother Marco were made co-owners of the business. And so until now, no, I did not co-own anything, but I was more or less his right-hand man.
I see. And now could you please tell me, with you and your brother here, how exactly the businesses got split between the two of you?
Well, he handled the casino, and I handled most of the rest of it with my father. But he I believe they got into some shady business, and they wouldn't tell me anything about it. But there was something going on between the two of them.
Mhm. I see. Now, there is rumors in this town that your father had been laundering money. Obviously, all that's been proven is that these are rumors as of right now. Did you know anything about those?
I knew something was going on, and I confronted my brother and my father about it, but they wouldn't tell me anything. Laundering money is the first I've heard of any specific details.
I see. Actually, do you mind? Can we invite your brother in here with this interview?
Of course.
Um, Lovely. Mr. Marco Huntington, you please step in, please.
Hey, listen, Martin, if you're not right about this, I'm gonna bust your kneecaps. You got it? All right. Now I got work with the detective right now. All right, I'll call you back later. All right. Oh, evening, gents.
Marco?
Were we interrupting anything there, Marco?
Just some business, simple.
Funny you mentioned business. We were just talking about that with your brother here. We just wanted to know, did you two know anything that was suspicious going on with your father or his business?
Well, yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on. A lot of underground things, especially surrounding the antiques that he's be selling. More importantly, the money that he's getting from the casino. Now that's a whole thing, right? He takes the money from the antiques, and then he takes money from the casino. It's dirty money. He thought that he could get away with it, but money just doesn't appear from nowhere. So he didn't really handle it well, and I kind of figured him out.
So this is the first time we're hearing about antiques. Robert, did you know anything about this?
No, I had no idea. I knew something was going on. Marco, thanks for finally bringing it up now after the discussion we had earlier.
I thought you knew. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
You're always the favorite.
Well, actually, one of our detectives from home just gave us a question for both of you. Where were you both when your father was found murdered in the kitchen?
Well, I had previously been in an argument with Robert and my father, sorry, Marco and my father, and I was talking about the laundered money. They wouldn't tell me what it was, and so I stormed off and left. Soon after, I heard that he died. That's all I know.
Marco, is this true?
Yeah, it was a whole scene. I was in the back, eating some popcorn, laughing at everything.
I see. So the three, you two and your father, were all arguing in the kitchen right before he was murdered?
Exactly, yeah.
I understand. You do realize that does pin you right at the crime scene, correct?
It does. That's true. Let me do some further explaining here. So, Mr. Robert here, he stormed off, and then my father was, agonizing me because I was, making fun of my brother. So he was, talking down to me. A little argument here and there, just like don't make fun of your brother and stuff like that. And then I rushed out of there, and someone walked past me going in. I can't remember who, but I walked out. Someone walked in, and that's all I saw of my father.
Sadly, I can confirm that Marco left. He went straight to me afterwards.
I see. Well, with that being said, Mr. Robert Huntington, I believe that's all the questions we have for you right now. You can go. But Marco, I would like one more word with you.
Thank you, Mr. Jacob.
Now, Marco, you said when you and your brother were arguing, Robert left the kitchen. What did you and your father? Did you and your father continue to argue at all?
As far as just me antagonizing my brother, there wasn't too much, but again, with the whole dirty money, I was just confronting him about it, telling him, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right. That's just street smart right there.
I see. Now, do you know exactly what your brother did with your father's business?
He was mostly like the piggyback, right? He always helped out my father. My father, relied on him. They relied on each other to kind of make this go, which is why, he kind of took it to the gut when he found out that he didn't know about the dirty money.
I see. And now, was a lot of business done in your father's home?
Yeah, actually. So the thing with my father, he was working with that Thomas Steele guy, the one running for mayor. He was working with him a lot. And I think he was helping out his campaign, and he was using that dirty money from the casino and from the antiques.
Really? And now, what exactly leads you to believe this? Did you have a hand in it?
Okay, now let me explain something to you. I got eyes all over the city. I got eyes in every door, every corner. You name it, every bar. I got people working for me there. All right, it's one of the perks of being in the line of work that I'm in, right?
Oh yeah, I get you, buddy. I get you.
Right. So, and the most important thing here is simple. I have an associate of mine. His name is Martin. He was the one who I was just on the phone with. He was I have him working with Thomas Steele's campaign. I was able to squeeze him in there. And what he does, he's feeding me information from the campaign. And let me tell you, that mayor, he's got some plans. So get ready for your economy to drop and rise like a roller coaster. All right. So what he was telling me is simple. He was telling me that he overheard a little conversation between Thomas Steele and some guy named Mateo something. It was Mateo something, right? They were talking, and there was something about getting rid of someone or something. I don't remember. And then I told Martin right away, hey, I want you to stay back. I want you to look at what they're talking about. I want you to stay there. He saw that they transferred a file with a big capital M on it with a skull. Now, I don't know about you, but M and skulls, they don't go good together. All right.
Sounds an awful lot like murder to you and me, don't you know?
Exactly. Now, I told Martin, hey, Martin, stay back. I want you to look at that file. Tell me what is in that file. And in that file, he found information on my father. Huntington this, Huntington that. The information from the dirty money was all in there. So I don't know what type of shady business those two were up to, but let me tell you, it ain't gonna be nice.
I see. Well, I think that's all the questions I got for you right now, don't you know? So why don't you get on out of here, eh?
All right. You take care of yourself, all right?
I will. You take care of yourself too. Now, our detectives at home, obviously you can see that our poll has just come up right now. Please take a minute and answer as best you can. In all honesty, I don't think I really trusted either one of them, but let's see what you guys think. It was a little suspicious that Robert didn't really know anything about the stolen antiques, but I feel like Marco almost knows too much. And our poll should be wrapping up in just a minute. Please get in any and final answers you have. And the results have come back. It looks like, just like me, a lot of detectives at home don't really trust our two brothers here. Guess only time will tell. Can we please bring in our next suspect, Miss Mary Therese?
Mr. Detective, can I just say I'm loving the energy that I'm getting from you?
Oh, well, thank you, honey. I've been really trying to project my energy a lot better recently. So I appreciate, you noticing, really means a lot.
Okay. Are you mocking me, Mr. Detective?
No.
That's what I
Sorry,
thought.
it just kind of happens every now and then.
Carry on.
Thank you. So first of all, we've kind of gotten some security footage about you coming from the Huntington Hotel, that you had to be escorted out Can you please just, I'm really confused. What's all going on here? Can you please tell us about all that?
All right. Well, we're just jumping right in here. It's kind of a long story, actually. My husband, he's actually been missing for a few weeks now, and he's in the antique business. He worked with Mr. Huntington on occasion. So I thought, who knows, maybe there's some sort of antique secret business trip that he's been on. But I decided, I might as well check and see. So I go to Mr. Huntington's hotel. I knock on the door. Mr. Huntington opens up, and you won't believe what I see dangling from his hand. My husband, my missing husband's antique pocket watch. I know. So I just, my mind, it was everywhere. And I started yelling, and my blood pressure was through the roof. Next thing I know, Mr. Huntington buzzes for security. I was so stressed, I think I blacked out, because the next thing I know, I'm sitting on the curb, and the bellboy next to me is asking me if I need help finding my car. I was so distraught. I'm sorry. This is a little hard for me to talk about right now.
No, it's okay, Miss Mary Therese. I totally understand. Can you please explain though what exactly is going on with your missing husband here?
I think, well, maybe Huntington has something to do with it. His antique business is a little shady. I'm gonna admit it. All right, don't write anything down. Don't hold me to that, right? Okay, but I don't know. So I was going to try and find out, and next thing I know, I see my husband's pocket watch, and my mind went to the worst place. So
I see. I totally understand. Now, on the side here, we've gotten actually a report from Mr. Steele's assistant that you've had a couple meetings with mayoral candidate Thomas Steele. Can you please explain what's all going on there? It says he's visited you 4 times in the last week.
all right. Well, this is usually client confidential, but I'll let you in on a little secret. I actually do psychic readings. I'm in touch with the spirits. And Mr. Steele was asking me about the election. He was very concerned about what was going to happen and the outcome. And I can only get so much from the spirits, right? And, they were telling me that there was some dirty money involved and that Mr. Huntington might have pulled out of his campaign. And I listen to the spirits because God knows what'll happen if you don't. But etc., etc. And Mr. Steele was so angry. He was violent. I was disturbed, and I think that you should ask Mr. Steele about that. Actually, I think that you should check up on him about that.
I see. Now we actually have a question from one of our detectives at home. What day were you at the Huntington Hotel?
I was actually there on the Monday, so not the day of the party or anything.
Mm-hmm. So you were there on Monday, and then the party happened on Saturday. Is that correct?
Correct.
I see. Now, when you were at the party, did you happen to notice anything suspicious going on? Did you get a chance to talk to Mr. Huntington there?
I tried to talk to Mr. Huntington. I wanted to figure out what was going on, right? But he wouldn't talk to me. Shooed me away. The party was nice. The food was good. There was actually a lot of noise coming from the kitchen at one point after the toast, but I was too distracted by Nora Pulitzer, the reporter. She was asking me all about the antique trade, so that kept me pretty busy.
I see. And now, is there overall anything else that I should know about? Did anything happen between the time that you were at the hotel and the party?
Hold on. Okay, I'm getting something. Mr. Huntington is here. I sense his presence. He is behind you, detective.
Right.
He is right behind you, detective. All right, okay. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. He's telling me that I'm innocent. He's saying that I didn't do it. He knows I didn't do it, and that I can go home.
Okay, very funny, Miss Therese. I have nothing else left for you, so I guess the spirits are gonna let you go now.
Thank you, detective.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty then. Well, our detectives at home She doesn't seem like the killing type to me. However, there are a lot of things that just don't quite add up with her. How her husband really got into the antique business with Mr. Huntington in the first place just doesn't quite all add up to me. I also wonder if her and Steele and Mr. Huntington are all connected together somehow. I know she said that Mr. Huntington, in her visions, was gonna pull out of Mr. Steele's campaign, but do you really think that'd lead him to it? Wow. And our detectives at home seem to kind of are all over the board a bit. Definitely a little untrustworthy. I can totally understand. Either way, let's move on to our next suspect, Mr. Thomas Steele.
Listen, detective, how long is this going to take? I'm a very busy man and early voting is coming up, so I have a lot of work to do.
Only a few minutes, Mr. Steele. Actually, you know what? Our last suspect, Miss Mary Therese, do you know her?
Mary Therese, she is such a lovely lady. I have such kind words to say about her. I go visit her every once or twice a week.
I see. Well, according to her records, you visited her 4 times last week.
4 times? Was it really that much? I
It
mean,
seems so. Do you mind telling us really what all happened there? Can you please tell us more?
well, between you and me, my advisors, they really tell me I shouldn't do this, but I go to Mary Therese for some guidance on my campaign. A lot of my decisions have been her decisions, or I guess I should say her spiritual decisions. She kind of helps me guide me in the right path for my campaign.
I see. So, in that case, has something been going on with your campaign recently that you needed to see her 4 times?
My campaign has been going amazing, might you ask? Like I said earlier, early voting is happening right now. Did you register? Because I mean, if you didn't, you should register right away. I can get you set up. I know a guy.
I'm already registered. Don't worry about it. I got you covered. That for legal reasons, that was a joke. Now, also according to one of our previous interviews, you had an inside meeting. Was that the one with Miss Mary Therese?
Well, you're gonna have to be very specific, detective. I have many meetings constantly all day long.
I see. Well, there was a mention of a specific file with the letter M on it. Does that happen to ring a bell for you?
A file. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You see, Mr. Huntington, he recommended me his personal trainer, Mateo Mars, I believe. I'm not quite good with newer names, but that whole meeting was all just about, I wanted to hire him to be my personal trainer because, I wanted to help more local and businesses around the city.
Mm-hmm. I see. Does that have anything to do with the file, perhaps? Is there something I'm missing here, or?
The file was mainly just, business, how do you put a contract, a business contract between the two of us, kind of like stating I pay him this much and then he's going to train me for 6 months, I believe. I'm not quite sure.
I see. And now, according to Mr. Robert Huntington and Marco Huntington, while you were at the party on Saturday, you kind of walked into a bit of an argument they were having. Can you explain your whole perspective on that? What exactly really happened there?
Well, detective, you see, most of the night at the party, I was with Miss Nora Pulitzer. She's another business associate of mine. She was writing an amazing article about me and how amazing I am as a candidate and to be mayor. So I was with her most of the night. But I mean, at one point, I was a little drunk that night. You see, free drinks and I was campaigning all night. Gotta please some people by having a few drinks with them. So I stumbled into the kitchen to go get some food, and Robert and I believe his other brother, Marco, I believe, they were just going at each other, yelling back and forth. I walked in and I grabbed what I needed and I left right away.
Mm-hmm. I see. Did you happen to see any of them leave by chance, or were you out of there too quickly?
I was out of there pretty fast, but if you're not hearing this from me, but they both sounded like they wanted to kill each other, and Robert sounded like he wanted to kill his dad for hiding something from him.
I see. And this didn't alarm you at all? You didn't care to tell anybody?
I mean, I was pretty distracted by getting food and, drinks as well. I wanted to get back to the people I was talking to, and I wanted to secure their vote.
I understand. In that case, is there anything else that was weird about the party? Anything go on that was odd besides the argument?
Not that I believe so. Like I said, I spent most of my night either with Miss Pulitzer or I went off and I was mingling with the guests, trying to get that extra campaigning in, because like my father said, the campaign never stops until you've won.
I understand. Quite the work ethic you and your father have. In that case, I believe that's all of my questions for you, unless any last minute questions from our detectives at home. And I don't believe so. So in that case, Mr. Steele, believe all the best to you. Good luck on your campaign.
Thank you so much. Make sure you vote Steele.
Alrighty, our detectives at home. How are we feeling about this Mr. Thomas Steele guy? Not 100% sure on him. In all honesty, he doesn't sound like he has very much going against him right now, but I guess you never quite really know. And our poll is coming back, and wow, our detectives at home really don't trust him. I guess we'll find out soon enough. In any case, let's please bring in our next suspect, Miss Nora Pulitzer. Miss Nora? I'm sorry, can you speak up a little bit? I can't quite hear you.
Hey, detective. So sorry, so sorry. I was wondering if before we get into the interview, I could get just a quick little statement about how your case is going. Always writing a story, always writing a story. Wonder if you have anything for me?
Unfortunately, Miss Pulitzer, I'm not allowed to give any comments while an investigation is going on, considering you're one of the suspects.
Just a teeny quote is all. Just that's all. That's all. I have a story to write. What am I supposed to do, detective?
You're supposed to find a quote from someone else.
All right, all right. Well, what do you have for me?
Well, Miss Nora, I guess I'm gonna start out with how well do you know Miss Mary Therese?
Mary Therese, one of my favorite people. Isn't she so lovely? Mary Therese, she does her little seance thingies, tarot readings, that sort of thing. She also does the horoscopes for our lovely Gazette, our paper, my home away from home. So, yeah, that's how I know her. Lovely woman.
I see. And now, according to Mr. Steele, you've been writing an interview on him, writing an article. Although I'm not quite sure I follow, why exactly were you and Mr. Steele at the party together?
So, funny story, actually. Everything's a story with me, isn't it? So I told Mr. Steele that I would be writing a profile on him for his campaign. You know, good press, bad press, we'll see. But really, I was there because of some information from the lovely Mary Therese. She had met with Mr. Huntington earlier in the week. Maybe she told you. And she was kind of disturbed. Her husband, the missing one, she thought there was something going on there with Huntington. So, because I knew Huntington's money was going into Steele's campaign, I was like, figured we could link up there, see what's going on, get into the party, do some investigating there. So that's why I was interviewing Steele, though he maybe didn't have the entire story. Wasn't a lie necessarily, but not the full truth. And yeah, so that's why I was there with Steele.
I see. Now, would you happen to be nervous about breaking this big story that you're working on? It seems like you have an awful lot of people connected all together.
A little bit. Huntington, big name. Steele, big name. Wouldn't want to cause any trouble there. There was, some worrying, definitely, on the part of Mary Therese. She was incredibly anxious about what would Steele do, what would Huntington do. Not so much me, but we talked at the party. We had a lovely conversation, as always. Mary Therese, lovely woman. We talked at the party. We were, after the toast, we were talking for a bit. Then Marco, Marco Huntington, son of the tragically deceased, he came storming out of the kitchen and he bumped into us and on his way out, and I don't know what that was about, but yeah, interesting party. But
Did anyone seem a little off at the party by chance?
well, of course, like I said, Marco, but I spent most of the party with Steele. Following him, of course, he talks and talks and talks and talks. And so I was following him, pretending to do the campaign. And I would say I spent most of the night with him almost entirely, except for when I was talking to Therese. But the party, yeah, everyone seemed to be pretty good mood. Anxious Mary Therese, angry Margot. Steele, same as always.
Now I actually have two questions from our detectives at home. Did Marco say anything to you when he bumped into you by chance?
No, he seemed very distracted. He just kept walking. I don't think he even realized it was me he walked into or at all.
I see. And then another question. Did you happen to write a story or an article in the paper about what happened at the party?
No, this was an ongoing investigation. I didn't write about the party per se because I was there, on the pretense of doing this profile on Steele. But I was really doing this investigation into Huntington and this fishy business that's going on with the antiques and the money in the campaign. Lots going on there.
And then I believe our last question from our detectives at home. What time did you exactly leave the party? Did you happen to be one of the last ones?
Oh, definitely not. I left fairly early. I was getting kind of bored. There were no big discoveries at all. I would say Steele and I left around the same time. Not too early as to be rude, not too late as to be overstaying the welcome.
I see. And then I know I said our last detective would be our last question, but our detective Olivieri seems to be quite urgent about this one. did Steele ever leave your sight at the party?
I don't know. I thought he was there when I was talking to Mary Therese. He might not have been. They're friends, of course. He goes to her seances, tarot readings, the spirit things all the time. He could have been there. He could not have been.
Mm-hmm. I see. Well, unfortunately for our detectives at home, that'll be all of our time that we have for you right now. Thank you very much for your time, Miss Nora. You're free to go.
No, thank you. Are you sure? Not one quote. Nothing.
No.
Oh, farewell, detective.
All right. Our detectives at home had quite a few questions for Miss Pulitzer. I'm sure she'll be hopefully getting back to you on a few of those. But I guess the real main question here for her is, how trustworthy do we think she is? In all honesty, it seems like she might know a little something that she's not quite telling us about. But I guess I'll leave that up for you guys at home to decide. And our poll results have just come back, and a little split all over the board, but overall it seems you guys tend to trust her a little more. We'll see how well that turns out in the future. In any chance, we'll bring on our last suspect, Mr. Mateo Mars.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Mateo, can you please explain to us really quickly what your relationship with Mr. Huntington was?
Okay. So I was his personal trainer. I've been doing that for a while. He's making some great improvements. And then I was also hired to kill him.
Excuse me, what?
I was his personal trainer. It's pretty sweet. Like
No.
he's-
The other part.
Oh yeah. I was hired to kill him.
You were hired to kill Mr. Huntington.
Uh-huh.
Is that a confession that you murdered him?
I was hired to. I really tried. I really tried, but I kind of didn't work.
So did you kill him or not? Is what I'm
No.
worried about here.
I didn't kill him. I didn't. No.
You did not kill him. Okay. Well, first off, we have a few questions from our detectives at home. Who exactly hired you to kill Mr. Huntington?
Oh, what's his name? Tony Stark, Thomas, Stark, Steele. Yeah, Thomas Steele, that guy.
Thomas Steele hired you to kill Mr. Huntington. You're sure about that?
I think I'm sure. Maybe it was Tony Stark.
Are you sure or not?
It was a guy with a T and an S, and he's running for governor, or no, president, no, mayor. Yeah, mayor.
Okay. So we have a few more questions from our detectives at home, and I'll get to those just in a second. So now you were when Mr. Steele hired you, what exactly did you all discuss?
He was like really angry and like super upset, and I guess like this one really spooky. Well, there's this like one really spooky voodoo lady that he's been seeing recently, and she's been doing like weird mind thingies. They're kind of spooky. I don't really know it, but he was getting angry, and he just wanted him dead. I guess he like hurt Steele's feelings or something. I don't know, but it was good money, so it's okay.
I see. And now, how exactly did Mr. Steele know to get a hold of you for this job?
It's actually kind of funny. So we were doing golf, and he was really sucking at golf. And I'm a personal trainer, so I was trying to help him out. And he just starts getting angry, talking about how he wants to kill him. And I'm like, hey, I can do that.
Okay. And now, would you happen to know any reason why Steele wanted to kill Huntington? Did he tell you anything about that?
He's saying a lot of stuff like he's angry because I think I think Mr. Huntington did some of Steele's laundry, and Steele didn't really like that or something. I don't know. Maybe it was a pair of like lucky socks or something. I think it was
He
laundry.
did some laundry.
I think so. Right?
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting a lot of questions from our detectives at home, on how you attempted to kill him and all.
Oh, okay.
Did you?
That's a funny story.
Just please make it quick.
Okay. So how it worked was, I decided that poison might be the best idea, and I was like, okay, so I'll poison the drink that at the party, because then I'll be able to get away and no one will see it. Really easy. Except it wasn't easy because well, I guess whoever I bought the poison from sold me some really bad one. It's called laxative. And I ended up drinking the drink that I put it into because I didn't see that he took the one that was supposed to be for me. So laxative, I guess, is just a poison that makes you go to the bathroom a lot, and that's been not fun to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know why people use that to poison people.
I see. You know what? After that, I really don't think I'm too worried about you murdering him. It's nothing against you, but I think we're kind of safe here. A real question would be, I'm to be honest, is I'm trying to get a little bit bigger. My arms just aren't quite growing right.
Okay.
I've been trying some of this new like mass gainer stuff. It's like mass gainer 300,000 XL. I don't know if do you know this brand? Does it work?
I mean, you really want to make sure you get good protein, but you also got to eat good veggies and good grains, and just eat a lot if you're working out a lot. Because if you don't eat a lot, then you're not going to get a lot of gains. It's all about how you eat and how you work out.
I see. And now working out, I have this dumbbell right here. It says 8 on the side. Is that 8 for 80 pounds? I mean, it feels like kind of heavy to me.
It feels kind of heavy. I think 80
I'm not
pounds
sure.
I think 80 pounds might be just like a little bit bigger. So I want to try to see if you could get
okay, I mean, kind of heavy. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Back to the interview.
Yeah.
Well, actually, one of our detectives at home. Do you think that Mr. Steele would murder Huntington on his own?
I don't know. He hired me to do it. I mean, maybe he did because I had to go home. Maybe he saw I went home and decided to. I don't know. He's running for mayor. Wouldn't that look really bad? If he killed him?
I would assume so, but what do I know? Now, in all honesty, I really don't think you did it. Oh, and a question from Detective Olivieri again. Were you at the party on Saturday?
Yeah. That's where I tried to use the poison, but ended up needing to go home because I used it on myself, and it was just making me go to the bathroom a lot.
I see. Did you happen to know anything that was going on that was a little weird at the party? Did anyone happen to see off at all?
I don't know. That spooky voodoo lady was there, so I was just trying to avoid her a lot. And there was some pretty good food, so I was just, eating. I was trying to find the right moment, but that didn't work.
I see. Well, in that case, I think that's all the time we have for you right now. I appreciate all the questions from the detectives at home. But Mateo, I think you're good to go here.
Yes. All right, I could go. Bye.
Absolutely. And our detectives at home, how are we feeling about Mr. Mateo here? I know he says he was hired to kill him, but do you actually think he could have killed him? It's nothing against him at all. I'm sure he's strong enough, but just seems a little off to me. And to one of the detectives at home who brought up the fact that I'm drinking Ovaltine, I was told this was mass gainer. Exactly, please. Get off my back a little bit. Still working on the New Year's resolutions. We're getting there. In any hands, the polls just came back, and yeah, I agree. He seems pretty trustworthy. I don't think he really killed him. Either way, that was our last suspect. So I believe we will have a poll going out in just a second here. And here it is. Who exactly do you believe murdered Mr. Huntington? The brothers seemed a little weird to me, Robert and Marco. Knowing about antique laundered money and not knowing, and I think there's just a little too many questions to go on there that we didn't quite get to. Miss Mary Therese, she definitely has a motive, but I don't quite know if she has the means to kill him, nor if her husband meant that much. Miss Nora Pulitzer, I think she's going more after a story than after a dead Mr. Huntington. And Mateo, I got nothing for Mateo, to be honest. Either way, please let us know what you think in the poll really quickly, and we'll get right to it. And our poll results just came back quite split here, but it believes that most of our audience at home believes that it was Mr. Robert Huntington. Alrighty, if that's the one we're going to arrest, believe
Please,
we'll
no.
do so.
Wait, this is completely wrong. I couldn't have murdered my father.
Mr. Huntington, or Robert Huntington. Regardless, our detectives at home have spoken. You're going to be under arrest for the murder of your father, Mr.
No, this
Huntington.
isn't right. This is
please get in the car, sir. We'll be going now.
no, please, please.
And that, everybody, is how you get away with murder. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an election to win.
Well, congratulations to the cast and to all of our guest detectives. Thank you so much. Can we bring all of the cast members back on for a virtual round of applause? Bring everybody on back. All right. Thank you, audience members. If you would like to chat and applause or say some fun things to the actors, if you'd like to take a bow. Kind of fun to do that virtually, I'm sure. Oh, there's Mateo Mars. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming. We hope that you enjoyed the show and that you'll tell people to come for our next show at 8:30. And this would be the time I would say drive safely, but you don't have to worry about that. So log off safely. Thank you again so much for coming, everybody, and have a great evening.